KPM.
So I read this poem online and I want to read it again. I saw this poem. All right. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. And summer sleep. Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm great. There's this poem that
I heard you.
Yeah, I saw online.
So what are you doing?
I thought I'm reciting the poem. Am I doing it right?
Okay. Now, do you read a poem or do you recite a poem? What's the difference?
What's the difference? That's
We'll
a good
find
question.
out soon enough after this.
All right, let's find out. Good day, lovely pupils. How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining us at another episode of EduwebTV KPM. Together with me, Tivia, and I'm sure you know who is the lovely teacher that's joining us on board, right? We have teacher Halimatul Sadia joining us from SMK Pusat Bandar Puchong 1. Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tivia. How are you? Nice to meet you today. You look lovely as always.
Thank you so much. You look lovely as well.
Thank you.
All right. Without further ado, let's also welcome our lovely interpreter for today. We have teacher Saiful Amri Sailan from SMK Pendidikan Khas Vocational Shah Alam Selangor. All right, he's going to be joining us interpreting the entire episode today. And without further ado, let's jump into the session, right? Let's ask teacher, what do we have for today?
Okay. Hello, Tivia.
So, can we speak about the poem that I was reading earlier?
Yes, in the beginning.
So, I'm sure you're going to teach me how to recite it better, perhaps?
Yes. Okay, so hello everybody, Tivia and everyone listening in or watching the program. For today's lesson, we are going to look at a poem that's called Sad I Ams, as you can see on screen. And just before the program started, Tivia was reading a poem. Now, poems are meant to be recited, Tivia, because when you recite a poem, you put in the feelings that the poem is trying to convey based on what the poet has intended when he or she wrote the poem.
Correct.
Poems are usually written in verses. Sometimes they rhyme, sometimes they don't. But normally when someone writes a poem, it's an expression of their thoughts, their feelings, and also usually what they they want to share with the rest of the world. Some people write poems and they keep it private to themselves. But as you all know, there are so many popular poets, like the poet who wrote the sonnet that you read. Actually, the poem that you read is called a sonnet 18. Yes, a sonnet has certain set criteria to it, but we're not learning a sonnet today, I'm not going to explain what a sonnet is. Maybe you guys at home can try and do some research on yourself to find out what a sonnet is all about. It's called Sonnet 18, and we are going to learn how to recite, not speak, not read. We will recite a poem according to the intended meaning. If it's a love poem, you have to recite it with all your heart. If it's a sad poem, you have to show sadness.
The feeling has to come while we are reciting the poem, right?
So, hopefully with today's lesson, all of you out there watching, you will be able to, after this, look at the poem, read it, and try to understand what it means and what the idea and the feelings it's trying to convey, and recite the poem to the best of your abilities.
All right, I'm excited. I'm sure people at home and people who are watching also very excited. So let's begin, teacher.
Right, let's move on to our first activity of the day, which is to try and guess it.
Okay.
And this is going to be your job, Tivia.
Right, so it's my job.
Yes, it's just the two of us today, just
Yes.
the two of us. We
No,
can
no, no.
make
We have
it
the
if we
pupils at home.
try.
Pupils at home are going to
Yes.
help me out here for me
But
to
for today, it's
guess.
just the two of us.
Okay,
Special.
all right, let's
Anyway,
do it.
I've got 5 emoji cards
All right.
on the table.
5.
All right, why don't you open them up one by one
Oh, I
and
can
try
open it
and
up?
tell me what the emoji is.
All right, this is, it has loved eyes, so
Yes.
maybe it's a love
That's
emoji.
correct. Yes, well
All right.
done.
And then, it has a white mouth, so probably it's a shocking emoji.
Yes, shocked
Right?
emoji,
Am I right,
yes.
pupils?
Yeah.
All right. This is a bit of a worried, sad emoji. All right.
Angry. Look
Okay.
at the eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is very sad.
Very sad. Yes, very sad.
This is probably angry.
Yes, exactly.
Now I can see the difference.
True. Great
Okay.
job so far. Last one.
Last one. This is a smile. It's normal.
Happy.
Happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Happy.
Clean.
Great.
Happy. All
Okay.
right. So I'm going to be guessing the.
Yes.
I see it's a guess and try game.
Yes.
So
Try
how
and
do
guess
we
it.
go
You've
about?
already done the first part excellently.
All right, okay.
You managed to guess what the emojis stand for or
Okay.
represent the emotions, what they're all about. So right now, I'm going to read out excerpts from 4 poems
Okay.
and 1 song for you to try and match the emojis to the excerpts of the poem and also the song. Okay, are we ready?
Okay, so it's a challenge for me.
Yes.
I'll take it.
And it's also a challenge for me because I need to try and get the emotion out
Yeah,
right.
so I understand it well.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right, I'm going to do the first one.
Okay.
Relax. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. Okay, so which
It's
emoji?
tricky. I feel like it's talking about a lady. It's talking about the beauty, of falling in love
yes.
with the woman.
Cloudless climes.
So
cloudless.
I think it's loved emoji.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yay! I'm
ding.
right.
100 marks to you for getting it right.
Okay,
Yeah. Yes, just to push it a little bit. Yes,
Okay.
to stick it. Right.
It stays
So
there.
cloudless climes basically means the sky has no clouds at all. The climate is temperate and nice, and you can see the beautiful twinkling stars. All right.
So they've described the
the love and also
that
the
way.
appreciation of the
Right.
beautiful lady.
Right. Okay.
Just like you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
next. Let's try the top
All right.
one. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. Okay,
This
which
is
emoji?
tricky, teacher.
You have just 4 left.
Okay, I have 4 left.
Yes. The fields fill my heart. My heart wants to sing. What do you think? How do you think I'm feeling? My heart wants to sing every song it hears. Do you think I'm happy or am I sad or am I
I think
angry?
you're happy. You're happy.
Of course, because I
right,
want to
okay.
sing
I was
every
guessing.
song. Yes,
All right,
well
all right.
done.
Great.
Okay.
So, I'm going to do this real quick.
Yes. Okay, well done. Wonderful.
Okay.
Okay, this one. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. What do you think?
Wow. So, what you did was...
angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow.
So, it is reciting a poem, right?
Yes.
Wow.
How do you think I
I can see
felt?
the feeling. I can feel that you're
I was
angry.
angry, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Right,
got it
okay.
right. There it is.
Okay. We have last 2 to go.
Okay,
Okay, let's go.
last 2.
Yes.
I heard somebody cry in anger or in pain. But now I ask you why, Mother? You say it was just a gust of rain.
Wow, I feel so sad right now.
Yes,
I feel sad.
That's right. This is a sad,
Sad.
emoji for a sad poem. The child's feeling sad.
Okay.
He saw the mother crying. And the last one.
Last one.
Okay, do you want to try this? Because just one is a shock.
All right.
What do you think? Cuba, try.
Oh.
Cannon.
To the right of
Cannon
them.
to the right of them.
Cannon to
Shock.
the left of them.
Cannon to the left of them.
Cannon
In front of them. Yes. So when you are reciting a poem, everybody, not only you must get the intonation correct, you must also get the
feelings.
facial expression. To show the feelings, it must be seen in your face or even
Right.
your actions if you want to. And if we look at the board, you got everything correct. Well done. Yay!
Yay.
500 marks for you times 2.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't have done it without your help, teacher. And with that, pupils at home, I'm sure it's exciting, right, to recite a poem and according to our own feelings and to see how we are interpreting it according to our feelings, what we feel. That's the beauty, I would say. And we are going to be coming back after a very short break to learn more about this. I'm sure you're excited, so we'll be back after a short break.
EduwebTV KPM.
Welcome back, pupils. Today we are looking at English language for Form 1 and especially on reciting poem and many more in store for us together with me, Tivia, and Teacher Halimatul. Hello, teacher. Welcome
Hi
back.
again. Yes.
All right. So please tell us for this segment, what do we have?
Sure. For this particular segment, it's related to what we have done before just now in the first segment, which was we looked at how the meaning is interpreted based on the poem that's written. Okay, so that's how we recite a poem. So for our lesson, we are going to read, understand, and recite a poem that is called Sad I Ams. Okay, it's called Sad I Ams.
I
Yes.
Ams. Okay.
Okay. And the poem is written by Trevor William. All right. And there are 4 stanzas in the poem. But before we read the poem to understand the meaning, so that we'll be able to recite it according to the intonation, etc., we need to first understand what the poem means. Okay. And in order to do so, we will have to, of course, read the poem stanza by stanza. All right, but before we read the stanza, let's look at some of the words that I think might be challenging to some of the pupils out there and even to some adults, because these are some uncommon words that are used. All right. So if you look at the screen, Tivia, there are 6 words actually.
Okay.
All right, 6 words that I think might be a little bit difficult.
Challenging.
Yeah, or challenging. So of all these 6 words, which one or which few you are not really sure of?
I would say carburetor.
Okay.
Inert. Chromium.
Chromium.
Okay, there's
All
3.
right, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, first of all, obviously we will not have time to look at the meaning in detail, but what you can do at home, pupils, is nowadays you don't even need to use a dictionary anymore, even though I still prefer to use the dictionary. But with a laptop or a tab or even a handphone, you can quickly go online and search for the meaning of the words. Even pictures, there will be even images that go along with the words that you're looking for. But for today, because you've mentioned 3 words, which are carburetor, chromium, and inert. So basically, these are all words that are related to items, technical items. I'll help you with the first one, carburetor. So it's a part of a mechanism in an engine. It's
Yeah.
actually very important. If you don't have a carburetor, your car will not
Move.
move. Exactly.
Start.
Yes, a very good word you choose to use, move, because that word is related to inert, I-N-E-R-T. Inert is the opposite to move.
It's to be in place.
It's just not functioning anymore. It's
okay.
inert. It's just like
Okay.
lying there, dormant. So an inert carburetor means the carburetor is not functioning anymore.
Okay.
Okay. And the last word, chromium, is also related to cars, but it's related to a part of a car that moves the car or makes the car look pretty, beautiful and shiny. So what do you think?
It's the paint.
Not really. No.
Okay.
The tires?
The shiny
The
metal?
rims, yeah, the shiny
Yeah,
metal.
the metal,
Yeah, so
okay.
chromium is a type of a metal.
All right.
All right. And it's not just for cars, there are other
Yes,
items that
correct.
are made of chromium. So, and please feel free and please do check on the meanings of the other words, pupils at home. If all 6 words that I've put up there are words that you're unclear about.
All right.
All right, so let's move on to the next part of the lesson, okay? So this is the poem that we are going to read, learn and recite at the end of the lesson.
Okay.
So I'm going to recite it first. You can try and follow me in your heart. Okay?
I love to hear your recite, teacher.
Okay. So it's a poem titled Sad I Ams by Trevor William. I am the ring from an empty cola can, the scrapings from unwashed porridge pan, the severed arm of last year's action man. I am the envelope on which the gum is gone, the sellotape where you can't find the end, the toothless stapler, springless bulldog clip, the dried up liquid paper that mars instead of mends, the stamped address reply that you forgot to send. I am the battery in which no charge is left, the starter motor which remains inert, the tire on which the tread is worn, the sparking plug which shows no sign of spark, the carburetor choked by bits of dirt, the chromium trim from which the shine has gone. I am a garden overgrown with weeds, a library book that no one ever reads, a stray which no one thinks to feed, the piece of good advice which no one seems to need. How did you feel after listening to me reciting
Very sad.
it? Yeah.
Feel very sad for the.
Yes,
for the
there's so many
book.
things mentioned, correct?
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
not sure if it's a book or what it is, but I feel sad for each one of the stanza,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because I'm sure each one of the stanza represents something.
Yes, in
Okay.
each stanza, in fact, it's mentioned a few items, quite a number of
Yes.
items actually. So which leads to the next activity that we're going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to divide the poem stanza by stanza, and you guys, pupils at home, you can do this too. Okay, have a look at each stanza. Tivia will do it and you will do it too.
Alright.
I want you to simply, quickly make a list of the things, okay? The things that are mentioned in the poem itself. Either you write a number, let's say in stanza 3, there are 7 things or items that are mentioned. You can just tell me 7.
Okay.
And we will go through it together.
All right.
All right? Okay, are we ready, Tivia?
Yes, ready. Let's
Wonderful,
do it.
raring to go. Okay, so we're going to look at stanza 1 first.
All right.
Okay, now tell me how many things are there that are mentioned in stanza 1? How many? If you can read it out, it's even better.
There's a ring mentioned.
What ring?
Ring from an empty cola can.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's number
And
1.
then scrapings from unwashed porridge pan.
Porridge, something that you eat,
All right.
right? So it's gone hard.
All right.
So 2.
And the severed arm
Severed arm
of last year's action.
Do you know what
man.
an action man is?
No.
It's actually kind of a doll, but for boys. Like Power Rangers doll. This is very 80s actually. I don't think young kids nowadays know what an action man is. You can Google it, okay? So they've played with it and the arm just broken, got severed. Severed means it's broken.
All right.
So there are 3 items mentioned. Well done. Doing really well, Tivia.
Yay!
So we can move on to stanza 2.
Okay.
Okay, all right. What are the things mentioned there?
On stanza
Quite a number
2,
here.
I feel like the envelope,
yeah.
on which the gum,
Yeah, the gum is gone. You cannot use it.
and the sellotape,
Yes.
where you can't find the end.
So you feel useless, you just throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
The toothless stapler, springless bulldog clip,
4.
dried up liquid
That's
paper.
correct. 5. That Mars
right.
instead of Mans. Mars means you smudge it.
Okay.
Okay.
Stamped addressed reply that you forgot to send.
Yes.
Stamp.
So it's a reply that you just forgot
Yes,
about it
it's a
and
reply.
the
Okay.
date is over.
All right.
So 6 items there in stanza 2. Well done.
Yay!
Right. So 6 plus 3. So far 9 items mentioned in 2 stanzas.
Okay.
So let's move on to stanza 3.
Stanza 3, we have the battery in
Yes.
which no charge is left. Starter motor, which remains inert.
True.
Doesn't move.
Yeah.
Tire, on which the thread is worn.
Cannot use it anymore. Very dangerous.
Sparkling plug, which shows no signs of spark.
Yes.
And carburetor, chocked by
5.
bits of dirt.
Yes.
The carburetor is the
A mechanism in the car,
Yes,
yes,
car
yes.
mechanism. All right. The chromium trim from which the shine has gone.
Well done.
Right,
So how many
okay.
things are there? Did you count?
6.
6.
Yes.
Correct. So 6 plus 6 plus 3, that makes 15 so far.
All right.
That's quite...
You're doing max, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty about education. It goes across the board. And English can be used in any kind of situations, correct?
Right.
For
True,
any
true.
subjects. Okay.
Very true,
So
teacher.
far we have 15 items that
Okay.
are not used, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's move on to stanza 4.
Right. A garden outgrown with weeds. A library book that no one ever reads. A stray which no one thinks to feed. And the piece of good advice which no one seems to need.
All right, so from here, stanza 4, which is a thing. Do you think a garden is a thing, Tivia?
No.
Yeah, so it's not a thing.
All right.
What about
Library
a book?
book?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What about a stray? Is it
I'm
a
not
thing? Is it
sure.
an animal?
It's an animal. It's not a
Yes, no
thing.
one thinks to feed. So it's either a cat or maybe a dog.
All right. A piece of
all
good
right?
advice.
Yes, so
Is it a thing?
of course it's not a thing. It's an
Okay.
advice.
So it's 2.
2. So 15 plus 2, we have 17 items that are very useful, correct? If they
Yes.
are in good shape. Sellotape is very important. If
Correct.
you want to mend things, right?
Yeah, if you want to wrap our
Yes, that's
present.
correct. But once it's used, it's not useful anymore.
It becomes sad.
Yes, it's forgotten.
Yeah, it's
and
forgotten.
in stanza 4, especially the last 2 lines, the piece of good advice which no one seems to need. It's not a thing. It's actually a very valuable words, aren't they? Who usually gives you advice, Tivia?
Parents, elderly people,
Even
mentors,
friends.
teachers.
True. But do you often take heed of the advice? Or you just...
Sometimes we just listen and sometimes we
Yes.
try to understand and follow the
Yeah,
advice.
yeah. So if I'm giving an advice to my pupil and my pupil simply just looks at me and goes, but the advice just gets stuck here, but it doesn't get to here,
All right.
how do you think I will feel?
Sad.
Yes, sad,
Not
of course.
fulfilled in that
Yes,
sense.
a piece of good advice which no one, can you read the last 3 sentences? No one
The piece of good advice which no one seems to need.
to need. No
Right.
one seems to need.
To need.
It's a good thing, but nobody wants it. So
All
I'm
right.
sad.
All right, teacher, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for
Right.
helping us, teaching us how to understand the poem a little bit better. But pupils at home, keep digesting and grasping all that we are learning today. Keep that in mind, and we are going to be going for a very short break, and we'll come back to learn and understand more about this amazing poem that you're reciting. We'll be back.
EduwebTV KPM.
Welcome back, pupils, and I'm sure you're reciting your own poem at home. I'm sure if you're not, then it's time for you to do one. While here at the studio, we are reciting our own poem, and we are finding out a lot of meanings behind it and how to express it, most importantly. Together with me, Tivia, here at EduwebTV KPM, and lovely teacher, Halimatul. So teacher, please tell us that I'm sure you are also excited to run us through, to explain a lot more. But we did the poem previously,
yes,
right?
Did.
So from that, what are we doing for this segment?
Okay, to carry on with what we have done, which you did brilliantly, 1,000 million marks, stars to you.
Stars for me.
All right, because when you were reading it first just now, or we were reading it together, it's quite clear-cut what all those items are and why they are sad.
Okay.
Sad I ams. They are sad because they're just not wanted anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will help you to answer this question.
Okay.
What do these items have in common?
common?
All the 17 items, remember?
Okay.
What do you think?
All the 17 items seems to be sad because people don't appreciate them or use them anymore.
That's right. Yes.
So probably that's the common thing they have.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so this is a sample answer.
Okay.
There are things that we use in our daily lives, right? Like the cellophane tape, maybe the liquid paper. Do you even know what a liquid paper is?
I do.
She does, right.
I think my era is when we moved from liquid tape to correction tape.
Exactly. Oh, I just don't understand correction tape. It's like, anyways, during my time, it was liquid paper.
You do.
Yeah, and then you have to blow on it before you can start writing, right? So, but when the liquid paper becomes hard, it doesn't correct anymore, right? And then the sellotape, you cannot find the end. You just throw it because you just get frustrated. You cannot use it anymore. So they are very useful, aren't they, right? But they are no longer functional. They can't be used anymore, like the inert motor, the carburetor that's choked with dirt, right? They are either worn out or broken, except for the last item or words of wisdom, which is the advice.
Good advice.
All right?
Okay.
Good. So all the items, you got it right. They are just not used anymore and forgotten. Okay? All right. Okay, to reinforce or help out pupils, maybe pictures would be, I think sometimes, especially with learning poem or literature, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Don't you agree?
Correct.
Right?
Agree.
I have this live worksheet, okay, that you can see on the screen. Pupils, you can try and copy the address and do the full worksheet yourself. Try it out, because with live worksheets, you don't need a teacher with you. You just try and do the activity on your own. And when you click on the button finish, they will give you the response. Yeah, the results, whether you got it all right.
At home, I'm sure you want to
try
out this live worksheet, for you to understand it better.
Okay.
All right, it gives the result details.
Yes.
All right.
But for us today, Tivia, it's just one sample worksheet for you to try and do.
All right.
Try it on your own. And you can check your answers with me today.
So people at home, you can help me out here as well.
Yes,
right?
It's a very simple matching activity.
Okay.
Okay, there are, let me count,
So
1,
I
2, 3, 4,
see
5, 6,
that's,
7. Yeah, there are 7 pictures. You just match it to
Alright.
the items there.
All right, so I see there's a ring from an empty cola can.
The first picture
the
is that?
first picture.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we drink a lot of
Yes.
drinks from cans, and we'll just, click, and then what we do with it, we just
Throw.
chuck it away.
Throw.
But please, pupils, do not litter. Throw them. Where should we throw waste?
No, I think we mostly what
Can
we do is
recycle?
we can recycle.
Exactly, we can
recycle the metal.
Yes. All right, well done. What about the next picture?
All right, the second one.
What do you think it
It
is?
looks like a food.
Food, yes.
All right, so let me see which is the
Yes, look at
right
the options. A, B, C, D, E,
sentence.
F, or G. Like porridge, like, isn't it?
Oh yeah, porridge. The scrapings
yeah, so which
from
one?
an
Yes, the
unwashed
scrapings.
porridge pan.
Yes, because it's unwashed. Porridge, when it's unwashed, after some time, it will become
It'll
sticky,
Become
hardened, cakey, and who wants to eat it?
Yeah.
Right? So it's sad. Right. What about the third picture?
All right, third one.
That's an action man. Yes.
The
So,
seven
is it A, B,
arm
C,
of
D, E?
last year's action man. It's A.
A, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so that's actually a picture of an action man figure or
Okay.
figurine. Okay.
All right. And
Picture
number 4,
4?
it's an
Very
envelope.
easy.
I'm sure the
Yes.
envelope on which gum is gone.
Yes.
B.
B.
Right.
So when the gum's gone, can you use the envelope?
No.
No.
It becomes dysfunctional.
Yeah, dysfunctional, just like another piece of paper. You can't even write notes on it.
We'll immediately go and take another envelope.
Exactly. And maybe even if the envelope looks attractive, like the one we have in the picture, nice pink envelope, right? But because the gum is gone, you can't glue it, so you don't want people to be reading your love letters, right? So you can't use it anymore. Okay?
All right.
All right. What about the next
the
picture?
fifth. The fifth, is it?
What do you think it is? Well, you
Ah,
can look
look-
at the other pictures. You can try and do the other pictures.
Probably it looks like the sellotape. Is it?
Okay, let's look at our options there. What do you think?
That is definitely
Yes.
the bulldog clip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we also have the
G, the toothless
The
stapler.
toothless
Which
stapler.
picture does it match with? Which picture? 6
this
or
is the
7?
7.
Stapler. Toothless stapler.
Oh, it's the 6.
Yes,
okay.
that's right.
Sorry,
That's
taking me
okay.
some time to understand the picture.
Well, it's all right. I'll give you
right.
some leeway because this activity,
squeezed.
yes, it's been compressed and
Yeah.
squeezed. If you go to the live worksheets pupils, you will find that the pictures are bigger and clearer.
Okay, no worries.
Yay! So you got it all correct. Well
All
done.
right. So the 5th
Yay.
is actually the sellotape, right?
Yes, you are right.
All right.
I just wanted to mess a little bit with you, just to see if you're sure of yourself. And you are. Well done.
All right.
Okay?
Thank
Yes.
you, teacher.
So, pupils at home, please try and do the worksheets because it will give you more understanding when you see the pictures. All the items mentioned in the poem is on the live worksheet, and when you read the poem again, you will have a better understanding of what the items are, which will lend you the complete or a more fulfilling meaning to the context of the poem, Sad I Ams. Okay?
All right.
All right. Now, before we start reciting the poem, okay, this is a task that you are going to do, you, Divya, and also the pupils at home.
Together with me,
I want
yes.
you to respond to the poem now that we know the meaning. They are all items that are discarded, the advice that nobody wants to listen to. Try to respond to, choose one item, okay? Choose one item, maybe the porridge pan or the carburetor, the sellotape, things that you usually use and you take it for granted. When you take something for granted, pupils, it's like you use it a lot, but do you ever say thank you to it? I mean, of course, we don't say thank you to things, but Try.
Just imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
Just
right?
imagine if you
Yes.
say thank
Just
you.
imagine. You've used the stapler for, I don't know, 5 years. And suddenly it cannot be used anymore. It's very important for us teachers, all right? Because right now we're busy stapling test papers. And suddenly you cannot use a stapler anymore. And you go, and then you just want to throw it away. So let's try and say something to all these items.
All
Okay?
right.
Be as creative as you can be.
All right.
All right. You can write a note to it,
Okay.
a short note, maybe a love note, a thank you note, I don't know.
Okay.
Or you can think of a song to show your appreciation to the stapler. I don't know. Okay? Or you can even draw a picture, maybe draw some emojis. Some people
Okay.
respond well with pictures. So you want to say thank you to your faithful stapler. What picture can you draw? Or you can even draw cartoons. The options are endless. Okay, pupils? Please be as creative as you can be. And in a few minutes, I will share a sample of my own creation to say thank you.
So should I also write my
Yes,
own
why don't you
poem?
try?
All right,
Why
so I'm
don't you
going to
try?
quickly write about, should it be things that
Yes, things
I've
in the
forgotten?
poem. Yes, the ones
Okay.
that are forgotten.
Okay.
There are 17 items.
All right, so I just pick one.
Yeah. Which one would you
All
like
right.
to try?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you some time
Okay.
to write your response. Just a quick one, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, that's enough.
All right.
All right? So meanwhile, while
Can
waiting...
I pick
Yes,
an
Divya.
item that I have forgotten myself in my life?
Sure, why not?
Something that came to my mind.
Yes, I
Right,
mean, this
okay.
is the beauty with literature pupils. It's because even though we are reading the poem, Divya says, can I try and write about something that was useful to me? Even though it's not in the poem, it's okay. This is the beauty of literature, about and of literature. You
Okay.
can express your thoughts and your feelings as long as it's genuine. And when you write something from the heart, it will be manifested, it will be seen in the outwards. Okay, from
Okay.
your face, because she's thinking of something. I can't wait to find out.
Even I can't wait.
Okay.
My poem might not be the best.
It's okay.
Teacher, I'm just trying.
That's all right. Yeah, just 1 or 2 sentences, that would be awesome. So while waiting for Divya to present us, I can't wait to listen to her. I'll just explain a little bit more about the concept or the format of a poem. Poems are written in, usually it's okay if it's grammatically incorrect sentence. Even sometimes the spelling is a little bit incorrect because you want to get the rhyming scheme of the poem to match. So this is what we call or known as a poetic license. And even if you listen to songs, all right, I'm sure all my pupils out there love to listen to songs. You'll find that sometimes in a song there are grammar errors, okay? But it's okay because it's meant to convey a meaning. It's meant to be entertaining. So it's all right if it's not completely grammatically correct. And more information, just a little bit more for you to think about. Long time ago, poems are written to rhyme with each other. Like a poem that we both are going to read at the end of the show. It's meant to rhyme because when a poem rhymes, it sounds nicer. Okay? But nowadays, modern poems, they don't really rhyme that much, but it's okay. As long as the meaning comes across.
All right.
All right. I think Divya is ready for
I'm
us.
done, but I'm going to say that my poem might not rhyme, teacher, because I just came out in 1 minute.
That's all right.
So it might not
Awesome.
rhyme. So should I say what is it about?
Okay, why don't you read it out for us
So
first?
you guess.
Yes, now it's my turn
Okay.
to guess.
All right. You made me look fabulous my entire childhood. Every time I step out of the house, I make sure I have you with me. Now that you are not in one piece, that I can't use you anymore. So should I say what is it?
No, wait, let me guess. Let me try and guess.
Okay.
At first, it was quite difficult to try and guess, but when you use that sentence now is no longer in one piece. And it makes you look fabulous.
Yeah.
So we will always check ourselves out before we go out, right?
Yes.
So I think it's a mirror. Am I correct?
No. But it is something that you'll see when you look into the mirror.
Something that I will see when I look in the mirror?
When I look at myself in the mirror, I'll definitely see it.
Your image? I don't know. Come on, the
Something that I
suspense
wear.
is killing me. Oh, something that you wore as a little girl.
Yes.
A hairband? I don't know. A hair clip? There's
It's a
so many
hairband.
things. Sorry?
It's a hairband.
It's a hairband. Yay! I got it in the end.
So I have this beautiful yellow color hairband that I used to
see.
wear my entire childhood. And now that it's not in one piece because once the the hairband is broken, then you can't use it anymore.
Yes.
Right. So then I couldn't use it anymore. But it's still my favorite.
You still remember it until now.
Just it reminded me when you said the things that you have
Yes.
forgotten.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
All right. So
Awesome.
probably you can hear your poem.
Yes, so this is not really a poem, it's actually a love note or a thank you note to, and I chose the action man.
Okay.
The arm is severed. So this is me talking to my action man.
Okay.
Dear severed arm of last year's action man, thank you for all the fun times that I had playing with you, with my siblings and friends.
Okay.
I am sorry if I had been rough when playing with you, but the memories I have of you will remain with me forever. XOXO. Do you know what XOXO stands for?
EXO is
Yeah, it's a-
exciting, happy.
Actually, it's a common thing that we write when we write letters a long time ago. X means hearts. O means
Oh.
kisses. Yeah. So if
Hugs,
you see
kisses.
XOXO, it means hugs, and
kisses.
kisses.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
teacher. It's been a pleasure, right? Running through the entire poem, reciting it, and writing my own poem of the things that I've
Yes,
forgotten.
well done. I'm so proud of you.
So it's very heartwarming. I'm sure pupils at home, you're also learning together with us. So please go ahead and write your own poem and recite it for yourself in front of the mirror. You'll see a marvelous response and reaction as well. So we're going to be going for a break and we'll come back, a very short one. We'll come back and don't go anywhere to understand and learn more about poems.
EduwebTV KPM.
Pupils, we are back at the final segment for today. Very exciting, learning about reciting poem and understanding the details, the meanings behind it together with us here at EduwebTV KPM. For English for Form 1 together with me, Tivia, and Teacher Halimatu. Teacher, so thank you so much for running us through this exciting lesson.
It's been my pleasure. I love literature.
Right, so it's our pleasure as well. I'm sure the people at home would agree with me to listen to you recite poem. Right, so the final segment, what do we have?
Yes, the final segment is all about you, Tivia, and also you
pupils. All right.
out there, because now that we have looked at the meaning of the poem,
Okay.
and you have heard me reciting the poem in the beginning, now is your chance to try and recite the poem
Okay.
yourselves.
All right.
Okay. So this is the full poem again, Tivia.
All right.
For you to look through.
Okay.
Now, one thing about reading a poem, you don't need to memorize it.
Okay.
It's okay for you to read it. All right.
Okay.
So, from stanza 1 to stanza 4, non-stop. Are you ready?
Non-stop, no break in between.
I mean, of
between
course, you can take your
stanzas.
breath to show your, feelings.
Yeah.
But when you break from that's a good question actually, Tivia.
Yeah.
If you're reciting and you want to take a break in between the stanzas, count to about 3. not
Okay.
more.
Okay.
So that would be like 3 seconds because you want to maintain the intenseness of the feelings.
All
of the
right.
poem. Okay?
Right, let's try. I'm going to try.
You will be brilliant.
Right.
I'm
So
sure.
people at home, please try together with me as well, so we all can do it together. All right.
Okay.
So let's
Whenever
go.
you're ready, take it away.
Sad I Ams by Trella William. I am the ring from an empty cola can, the scrapings from unwashed porridge pan, the severed arm of last year's action man. I am the envelope of which the gum is gone, the sellotape where you can't find the end, the toothless stapler, springless bulldog clip, the dried up liquid paper that mars instead of mends, the stamped addressed reply that you forgot to send. I am the battery in which no charge is left, the starter motor which remains inert, the tire on which the thread is worn, the sparkling plug which shows no signs of spark, the carburetor choked by bits of dirt, the chromium trim from which the shine has gone. I am a garden overgrown with weeds, a library book that no one ever reads, a stray which no one thinks to feed, the piece of good advice which no one seems to need.
Yay!
That was a challenging one.
Hugs for you,
teacher.
Kisses for you. Oh, that's awesome. She did wonderfully well.
Yay!
Well
I'm sure people
done.
at home did that together with me as
Yes,
well. Right, we
yes.
did it.
You
All right.
surely did.
Okay.
All
So
right.
overall, teacher, probably we can just run through a quick, summary of what we
Sure.
learned
Yes.
from the entire 4 segment.
Okay,
please.
of course. All right, so thank you very much, Thivia. And to conclude our lesson for today, again, I would like to reiterate and get you, everyone out there, to try and recite. Read first to get the meaning, and recite the poem, because poems are ways for you to express yourself. And for today, with the poem that we learned, Sad I Ams, written by Trevor Millam, all right, we looked at things that are discarded, things that had been very useful to us in our daily lives. If we don't have it, we can't function, like the stapler or like the sellotape or like the Action Man figurine. It entertains children, but when it's broken, it's just thrown away. So after that, we did some activities to really understand more the meaning, and I would like to reinforce the last sentences or the verbs. The piece of good advice which no one seems to need. That's actually the essence of the poem, because with things that we hear daily, we use daily, sometimes your mothers, fathers, even people who love you, your teachers and friends, they tell you the same thing over and over again, right, Divya?
Yeah.
But you seem to not want to listen, to not want to understand why people are giving you advice. So this poem is not just about things that are discarded, it's also about us telling us to stop and think, take a breath. What is important in my life?
All right.
All right, okay, and we did very good few activities, and I think your best performance was your recitation of the
Yay.
poem. I'm so happy you got it right.
Thank you
okay?
so much. I'm sure the people at home are also reciting same as me,
I
because we
hope
learned
so.
from the best. So what would you tell us? How did I and the pupils do? So how did I do? Please tell me. Tell feedback.
You were wonderful, awesome, and if I were to give you marks, or I like to give stars.
Yay!
Right?
How
Because
many stars do I
You can
get?
redeem the stars at the end of the year for some interesting sweeties. Okay, for today, I'm going to give you 1,000 stars because you did really well.
Lovely.
And I love
Thank
literature.
you so much, Teacher Halimata, for joining us.
My
And
pleasure.
pupils, if they would like to get to the materials,
Uh-huh.
if they like to look up and read and understand more about this, where can they find the materials?
Obviously, where else but the Delima KPM websites. All right, there are plenty of materials there to help you, assist you with your learning. They are fun, they are interactive. Please go and check them out.
All
Okay?
right.
All right.
All right. With that, pupils at home and teachers as well, thank you so much. And let's also thank our lovely interpreter for joining us.
Thank you.
We have Cikgu Saiful Amri Sailan for joining us and interpreting the session entirely. So, teacher, shall we end it with reciting a poem?
Let's end our
All
lesson
right, let's
for
go.
today.
Okay,
We're going to read. Remember when I came in, you were reading the sonnet 18, right?
Yes, I remember.
Okay. So now that you have some ideas on how to recite the poem with feelings, you know this poem is about love, you've read it, you've understood it.
All right, we're going to try now.
Yes, so we'll take it line by line. I'll start first, and the last two lines we will read it together
Okay,
with
I follow
feelings.
you, teacher.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sonnet 18, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, written by William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May.
And summer's lease hath all too short a date.
Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines,
And often in his gold complexion dimmed.
and every fair from fair sometime declines.
By chance or nature's changing course, untrimmed.
But thy eternal summer shall not fade,
Nor lose possession of that fair thou owest.
nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade.
When in eternal lines to time thou growest.
Let's do this together.
So long as man can breathe or eyes can see,
so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
All right, pupils. Thank you so much. Thank you, teacher.